I have played 3 sports, so volleyball, basketball, and softball.
I did my freshman and sophomore year when I was in high school. I played volleyball and basketball.
Yes. I played basketball, football, and baseball.
Well, it was in gym, and I broke my foot, I cried when it happened. It hurt really bad, but that's kind of the main one.
No, I did not. Nope.
I've had injuries, but none of them affected my mental health.
Yeah, well, it didn't actually happen in sports, but like someone's come up to me with like a concussion and either they sprained their foot or rolled their ankle or anything like that, and they were sad.
I would say throughout the years there's been a couple kids who have had, some injuries and haven't had to play, or it's maybe caused them to not be able to play as well. So I would say, yeah, a couple times over my years here.
I'm sure somebody has, but I can't remember at the top of my head.
No, it was only when I broke it, or I would just feel sad when I'd see people playing the sport, that I didn't get to play because I broke my foot.
No, not really.
No, it was only when I broke it, or I would just feel sad when I'd see people playing the sport, that I didn't get to play because I broke my foot.
No, not really.
Probably when I broke my foot. That was probably the most painful injury.
Probably a stick in my hand, and then my shoulder pad for football going into my collarbone.
I never wanted to quit. There would be times where I'd get tired or something, and I don't know, it'd be harder to run or something because I broke my foot, so I haven't been playing in a while. But I always wanted to keep on playing.
I did not want to quit after any of these injuries because I love the sports, and my friends kept me going because they said they just wanted me to play and that stuff.
I would say it depends on if it were some to do with trauma to the head. If it were a concussion, for example, it could affect their mental state and alter the way that they think and just affect the way that they think in their daily lives.
Yes.
Again.
No.
It could.
I definitely think that getting injured in a sport, a school-related sport or any sport, can cause you to have, definitely have a negative impact on your overall mental well-being, and even can go beyond that. So, for instance, I was, I really enjoyed football, and then I had too many concussions. And at the time I played was in the 80s, long before this traumatic brain injury stuff came about. So back then, they didn't know that much about it. So when I would wake up after getting knocked out, so I had concussions that were that severe. Like today, if you get knocked out, that's you're done. They won't even let you play a lot of times for the rest of the season. At that time, it was, I would come to, and then they would be like, okay, well, you might need to go sit on the bench for a minute. And then I would go back in the football game. So like that happened even in practices. And then I finally went to Madison after a lot of stuff. And then the doctor there told me that I couldn't play anymore. Well, I was a sophomore that year. And then my junior year, I didn't get to play hardly at all. And I'd gone from starting, from sixth grade all the way to my sophomore year to just basically not being able to play because the coach was afraid that I would get more concussions. And the doctors had told them that I could go blind if I got another concussion. I didn't even know that part because they never really told me that. They told my coaches. They told me that, but I was a kid. So I'm 16 and I'm like, yeah, whatever, that's not gonna happen. I never heard of it. That makes sense? So like, that bummed me out big time. Like I ended up not going out my senior year. My football team went to state and got second, but I wasn't even on the team because I had quit. So, and I definitely affected my self-esteem. So I felt lousy and was depressed over it. I know I was. So yeah, I definitely think it can affect your overall mental well-being.
Sports injuries can affect both the mental health and your physical health. Mental health, you're probably replaying it over and over, and eventually, if you can't work that out, you may have some difficulties down the line.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.